Welcome back to Horoscope TV, everyone. We're just so thrilled to have you with us for this show today.
Oh, absolutely. It is great to be here.
And, listen closely today because we are dedicating this entire time entirely to you, just you, the Capricorn.
Yep. It is all about Capricorn today.
We're going to look really closely at the astrological charts for the week of May 25 to May 31st, 2026. And I have to tell you right up front, giving you a real reason to tune in today.
Oh, yeah. They definitely need to hear this.
Right. Because this week is going to really test your famous Capricorn discipline with, like, sudden power struggles and a very heavy reality check.
A really heavy one, yeah.
But, if you stick with us through the tough parts, we will show you exactly how this week ends with a massive sigh of relief and a much lighter heart.
It really does. It is great to be here looking at the charts with you, by the way.
So glad to have you.
Because when we analyze the astro data for this specific week, it outlines a very clear, very intense path for you.
Right. Intense is definitely the word.
It really is. It starts with some strange confusion at your workplace, and then it, builds into some really heated moments of tension, but then it clears out and leads into some real emotional and financial healing.
Which is such a relief to see on the charts.
Exactly. It is a massive week. But the charts also show that your natural habits are exactly what you need to get through it.
I really want to focus on that overall theme for a moment, just to start. Looking at the angles in the astrological charts, the biggest spotlight is shining directly on work in your daily routines.
Oh, totally. Work is front and center.
And for a Capricorn, that is usually your comfort zone. You are known for being the worker, right? The planner.
Yeah, the person who builds things brick by brick.
Exactly. But to understand the big relief at the end of the week, we have to kind of start at the beginning. And Monday, May 25 is really tricky.
Tricky is a good way to put it.
It looks completely smooth on the surface, but the astro data points to a hidden trap.
Yeah, the contrast in the charts on Monday is really something we need to break down carefully.
Definitely. Let's get into it.
So on May 25, the sun is moving right through the sector of your chart that deals with productivity. And at the same time, the sun forms what is called a sextile to the planet Neptune.
Okay, let me stop you right there just because we need to make sure everything is super clear for everyone listening.
Oh, sure. Of course.
What exactly is a sextile and, why does it matter here?
Right. So a sextile is basically an angle of 60 degrees between two planets.
Okay, 60 degrees.
Yeah. Think of it like two people sitting on the same side of a table, working on a puzzle together.
So they're getting along.
Exactly. They are not fighting. They have a friendly, cooperative angle. Now, the sun in astrology represents your core focus.
Like your battery, right?
Yeah, your battery, the main light of your attention. And Neptune is the planet that rules dreams, intuition, and flow. It is very much like water.
Okay, so sun and Neptune, focus and water.
Right. So when the sun and Neptune sit on the same side of the table, your focus and your flow are just, they are working perfectly together.
So on Monday, you go to work and you just feel completely in the zone.
You really do.
Like you're answering emails, you are finishing tasks, and it does not feel like hard labor at all.
No, not at all.
It feels like you are just, humming along to a good song. Everything is just clicking.
Exactly. You feel completely unstoppable because the friction is just gone.
Which sounds amazing.
It does sound amazing, but that lack of friction is actually the problem here.
Wait, really? Why is feeling good a problem?
Because on that exact same day, the charts show us another movement happening quietly in the background.
Oh, here comes the catch.
Yep. Mercury is moving into a direct opposition with Lilith.
Okay, an opposition. That is like a tug of war, right? Two planets pulling directly against each other.
Exactly like a tug of war.
But I want to really dig into Lilith for a second. A lot of people hear that name and think of, spooky hidden things.
Oh, right. It has that reputation.
But what does Lilith actually represent in the astro charts, mechanically speaking?
That is a great question. Black Moon Lilith is not actually a physical planet at all.
Oh, it isn't?
No, it is a mathematical point in space. It is the empty focal point of the moon's orbit around the Earth.
Wow, okay, an empty point.
Yeah, because it is an empty, dark space, in astrology, it represents the shadow.
The shadow. That sounds a little intense.
It can be. It represents the untamed parts of human nature, the things people do not want to say out loud. And it represents blind spots.
And Mercury, on the other end of that tug of war, is the planet of communication.
Right. Talking, typing, emailing, signing things.
So you have a tug of war. between the planet of clear communication and this dark, empty space of hidden motives.
Exactly. This creates an environment where words are just, well, they are muddy.
Muddy words.
Yeah.
I like that description.
The people around you, maybe your coworkers, your clients, or your vendors, they might be holding things back.
Like lying.
Not necessarily lying to your face, but they are leaving out the part of the store that actually matters the most.
Okay, let's put this into a real-world setting for the Capricorn listing.
Good idea.
You are at your desk on Monday. You have that smooth Sun and Neptune energy going on.
You are feeling great.
Right. You're clearing out your inbox, feeling so productive, and a coworker just walks up.
Happens all the time.
They slide a piece of paper on your desk and ask you to sign off on a quick form so they can send an order out.
Right. Super casual.
They smile. They act like it is just totally routine. But because Mercury is fighting Lilith, there is a blind spot there.
A huge blind spot.
Maybe the numbers on page 2 are completely wrong. Maybe they missed a massive error and they want your signature so they can, share the blame if it goes wrong.
That is exactly how this transit works in real life. It is so sneaky.
Wow. That is really sneaky.
Because you are feeling so good from that smooth Sun and Neptune flow, your natural defenses are completely down.
Because Capricorns usually have high defenses.
Oh, very high. But on Monday, you feel like everything is fine, so you do not want to ruin the good mood by being strict or bossy.
You just want to keep the peace.
Right. You might just trust that your coworker did the math correctly. But the charts are giving a massive warning here.
What is the warning?
You absolutely must double-check your work, and you need to avoid signing any important binding documents on Monday.
But wait, this brings up a confusing point for me.
Okay, what is it?
We always hear that you should trust your intuition, right?
Sure, people say that a lot.
If Neptune rules intuition, and the Sun is feeding Neptune, shouldn't the Capricorn's intuition guide them away from the bad contract?
You would think so.
Yeah, so why does the smooth feeling override their gut instinct?
Well, that is the real psychological trap for a Capricorn.
Oh, it is a psychological thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Capricorns pride themselves on being sharp. You pride yourself on catching the errors that other people miss.
Right. They are the responsible ones.
But because you are an earth sign, you are used to things feeling heavy and difficult.
Always pushing the boulder up the hill.
Exactly. When things suddenly feel easy and light, it acts almost like a drug. You want to stay in that easy feeling.
So they ignore the warning signs just to keep feeling good.
Yes. Your intuition might actually be whispering, read that second page, but your desire to just enjoy a smooth Monday makes you ignore the whisper.
Wow. So the lesson for Monday is to really force yourself to be a little bit difficult.
Yes, be difficult.
Stop the music. Read the fine print. Ask the annoying question, even if it ruins the vibe.
Yes. Do not coast. Because avoiding a bad signature on Monday is just vital.
Why is it so vital?
Because the astro charts show that you are going to need all your energy and a completely clean slate for what happens the very next day.
Oh boy. And that takes us to Tuesday, May 26th.
Yes, Tuesday.
This is where the charts get incredibly loud. I mean, the word you used when we looked at the data earlier was explosive.
Explosive is really the only word for it. Tuesday is easily the most intense day of the week, and honestly, maybe one of the most intense days of the entire month.
Okay, let's break down exactly why it's so intense.
Let's do it.
On Tuesday, May 26th, the charts show an explosive square between Mars and Pluto.
A very harsh angle.
Right. And this points directly to a massive power struggle in your daily life, most likely in the office, right?
Most likely work-related, yes.
Someone is going to try to challenge your authority.
Mm-hmm.
And it also points to a sudden, random risk of losing money through an impulsive choice.
Yeah, the money risk is huge.
And to add to the fire, it creates heavy romantic or creative tension.
To understand the sheer force of Tuesday, we really have to look at the mechanics of a square angle between these two specific planets.
Okay, lay it out for us. What is a square?
A square in astrology is a 90-degree angle. Imagine two cars speeding toward the same intersection from totally different directions.
Oh, that sounds bad.
It is. Neither car wants to stop. They crash right at the corner. That is a square. It forces action through friction.
And the two planets crashing here are Mars and Pluto.
Right.
Let's analyze Mars first.
Mm-hmm.
What is Mars bringing to this crash?
Mars is the engine. It is the planet of action, aggression, speed, and pushing forward.
So it is pure adrenaline.
Exactly. Mars wants to go fast, and it wants to win right now. No waiting.
And Pluto? What is Pluto doing?
Pluto is the exact opposite in terms of speed, but it holds 100 times the weight.
Wow. 100 times.
Yeah, Pluto is the planet of deep power, Total control and very heavy transformation.
Like a slow-moving force.
Think of it like the tectonic plates under the surface of the Earth. You do not see Pluto moving, but when it shifts, it causes an earthquake.
That is terrifying.
So when Mars crashes into Pluto, you have a really fast engine crashing into an unmoving underground force. It is a massive fight for dominance.
For a Capricorn, this is a very specific type of threat, isn't it?
Oh, it targets them perfectly.
Because you guys are naturally built to be in charge, even if you do not have the official title of, like, boss. You usually act like the responsible one in the room.
Always. People naturally look to a Capricorn to make the final call.
Right, so having someone challenge your authority is not just an annoyance for you.
No, it is not.
It actually threatens your basic identity.
It threatens your whole foundation. And that is exactly why the reaction to this transit is so dangerous.
Okay, let's look at the power struggle at work. Give us an example.
All right. You are in a meeting on Tuesday. You have the plan laid out perfectly.
Because you prepared all weekend.
Of course. Suddenly, a junior employee, or maybe someone from a totally different department, speaks up and completely talks over you.
Oh, no.
Yeah. They challenge your whole strategy right in front of the boss.
Now, a Capricorn's instinct there is to immediately stand their ground, right? They want to shut that person down with cold, hard facts.
Yes, they want to crush the rebellion instantly. But with Mars and Pluto clashing, the energy in that room is highly combative.
It is a powder keg.
Exactly. If you push back with the heat of Mars trying to crush them quickly, the situation will explode.
A literal shouting match.
It will turn into a screaming match, or it will create a permanent enemy. The charts clearly advise that reacting with anger on Tuesday will lead to a loss of respect.
But if they don't push back, aren't they just letting someone walk all over them?
I know it feels that way.
I mean, Capricorns are famous for holding their ground. Is holding your ground the same thing as being stubborn when these planets clash?
Well, there's a massive difference between holding your ground and fighting a fire with fire.
Okay, explain that difference.
Think of Pluto as a brick wall. If Mars is a speeding car and the car crashes into the brick wall, the car gets destroyed.
Right.
Holding your ground means simply being the wall, letting the other person crash.
Oh, I see.
If the junior employee talks over you, you do not need to yell. You can just let their words hang in the silent room.
Make it awkward for them.
Yes, you can look at them calmly and say, "We will review your thoughts later," and just move on. You completely deny them the fight.
You take away their oxygen? That is so smart.
Exactly. You stay in control by not reacting, but the tension does not just stay in the meeting room, unfortunately.
Of course not. You take it home.
Right. This clash creates a huge amount of internal pressure. You're going to feel like a very tightly wound spring all day on Tuesday.
And that leads to the risk with money that we mentioned earlier.
Yes, the money risk.
Right. The charts show a sudden urge to make impulsive financial choices. But Capricorns are, like, the most careful savers in the world.
Usually they are.
Why would they suddenly want to gamble their money on a random Tuesday?
Because of that intense internal pressure. When Pluto makes you feel like you are not in control of your environment.
Like when that coworker challenged you.
Exactly. Mars looks for a really fast way to get a win and feel powerful again. And for an Earth sign like Capricorn, money equals power.
Oh, wow. So they use them to self-soothe.
Yes. So you might be sitting on your couch on Tuesday night, still completely annoyed about the meeting, and you open an app on your phone.
A trading app, maybe?
Right. You see a risky stock or a wild investment, and Mars says, "Put your savings in there. We will make a huge profit by tomorrow, and we will be back on top."
It is the urge to force control over a situation because you feel completely out of control.
Yes. And the charts show that if you act on that impulsive urge, you will lose the money.
Guaranteed.
It is a very bad bet. Mars acts too fast without looking at the details. You have to recognize that the urge to spend or gamble is just a symptom of the stress.
So step away from the phone.
Step far away. Keep your money where it is safe.
And the same restless, forceful energy bleeds into the personal life too, right? The romantic tension.
It is the exact same pattern. You feel out of control, so you try to force an answer.
Like demanding someone text you back.
Exactly. Maybe you have been seeing someone and things are a bit undefined. On Tuesday, that undefined space feels totally unbearable.
Because you want control.
Right. Mars wants to send a long, angry text message demanding to know exactly where the relationship is going right this second.
And the advice from the charts for that?
Put the phone down.
Just ignore it.
Let the tension sit. If you force an ultimatum on May 26, the structure will break.
You will ruin the relationship.
Yes. The explosive energy of Mars and Pluto burns very hot, but it also burns fast. By Wednesday, that intense anger will fade.
So it is just a temporary fever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just have to survive Tuesday without breaking your career, your bank account, or your relationship.
Just write it out. Do nothing impulsive.
That is the whole goal.
That is a really hard test of discipline. But it's so important because as the fire of Tuesday burns out, the atmosphere changes completely.
It really does shift drastically.
The smoke clears, but it leaves behind a very heavy, cold reality as we move into Thursday.
Yes, Thursday, May 29, brings a totally different astrological weather pattern. The fire is gone, but the weight drops down.
And this one is incredibly personal for you, Capricorn. Let's look at the charts for Thursday.
Let's do it.
We have Venus forming a harsh square with Saturn. Now, we already talked about what a square angle is, that crash at the corner.
That car crash, right.
But this hits you directly because Saturn is your ruling planet.
Let's analyze what a ruling planet actually means, because it is the key to understanding why Thursday feels the way it does.
Okay, break that down for us.
Every zodiac sign has a planet that acts as its boss, or its landlord, basically.
Like the planet in charge of them.
Right. For Capricorn, that planet is Saturn. Whatever happens to Saturn up in the sky, you feel it directly down here in your own life. You are tied to it.
So who is Saturn? What is its personality?
Saturn is the planet with the rings, and those rings represent boundaries, limits, rules, and time.
So it's very strict.
It is very strict. Saturn is the planet of hard work, cold reality, aging, and responsibility. It's not a fun planet, but it is the planet that builds things that actually last.
And who is Venus? Because they are crashing into each other.
Venus is everything Saturn is not.
The opposite.
Total opposite. Venus is warmth, comfort, sugar, easy money, love, and pleasure. Venus just wants to relax on a soft couch.
So when Venus crashes into Saturn at that 90-degree angle on Thursday, what happens?
Comfort loses to reality. Saturn blocks Venus. It is like the landlord locking the door on a really fun party.
Oh, that is rough.
Yeah.
Let's translate that into how Thursday actually feels for the listener.
It is not going to feel great.
The charts show that on Thursday, you might feel totally unappreciated at home.
Yeah, a real lack of warmth.
You might face some really heavy family obligations that you do not want to deal with, but absolutely have to.
Because Saturn demands duty.
Right. If you are single, the lack of Venus energy might make you feel deeply lonely. And your money is going to feel very, very tight.
It is the feeling of lacking resources.
Right.
You want the comfort of Venus, but Saturn says, no, we have to deal with the cold facts.
I really want to talk about how this shows up in the physical body.
This is a fascinating part of astrology.
Because the charts point out that this specific day brings pure exhaustion, a feeling of sadness, and literally stiff joints.
Yes, physical pain.
Why do the planets moving around in space make a Capricorn's knees ache? That sounds wild.
It sounds wild, but it is because of how astrology maps to the human body. Every planet governs a different physical system.
Right.
Saturn rules the structural support of the body, the skeleton, the bones, the teeth, and the joints.
Oh, so the literal framework.
Exactly. Because Saturn is your ruling planet, you process Saturn's stress directly through your bones. When Saturn is under heavy pressure from a square angle, your body physically absorbs the weight of the sky.
Wow. Imagine this scenario for Thursday then.
Okay, picture this.
You survived the workplace mutiny on Tuesday. You kept your money in the bank.
You did good.
Right. You kept your mouth shut and did not send that angry text. You pushed through Wednesday. You come home on Thursday night.
You are exhausted.
You are bone tired. Your knees physically ache when you walk up the front steps. You open the door, and the washing machine has broken down and flooded the floor.
Which hits the Venus issue perfectly, by the way.
How so?
Venus rules money and comfort. The broken machine completely destroys your comfort, and fixing it will cost you the money you were trying to save.
Exactly. And to make it even worse, your partner is sitting in the other room. They do not get up to help.
They are ignoring the problem.
They seem distant and completely unbothered by the water all over the floor. You feel entirely alone, carrying the weight of the house on your back.
That is the textbook definition of Venus squaring Saturn right there. You feel a total lack of support, a lack of resources, and a complete lack of warmth. It is incredibly isolating.
But here's where I want to challenge this a bit.
Okay, challenge your way.
It sounds miserable. It sounds like gravity just got turned up to maximum. But since Capricorn is naturally an earth sign, and you guys are the absolute masters of budgeting, fixing things, and pushing through hard times,
Which they are.
isn't this exactly the kind of storm you are built to survive? Why does it hurt so much if this is literally your natural environment?
That is a brilliant point to analyze. You are right that Capricorns are built for this, but it hurts because Saturn is forcing you to look at the cracks in your foundation.
What do you mean?
Saturn does not break the washing machine just to be mean. Saturn breaks it to test your emergency fund.
Oh, it is a test.
Always. And when your partner feels distant, Saturn is forcing you to look at the actual structure of your relationship instead of just enjoying surface-level pleasantries.
So Saturn removes the comfortable distraction, so you have no choice but to fix the root of the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a harsh reality check. It forces you to focus on what is real and what is actually built to last. You cannot put a Band-Aid on a broken pipe. You have to replace the entire pipe.
So, your advice for Thursday. What should they do?
Except that Thursday is a heavy day. Do not try to force it to be fun.
Just lean into it.
Yeah. Pay for the repair, clean up the water. Accept that your partner might be dealing with their own heavy astro weather and cannot help you right now. Take a warm bath for your aching joints and just go to sleep early.
And remind yourself that planets keep moving.
Exactly. They do not stay still.
The heavy feeling will pass. But while you're stuck in that lonely Thursday energy, looking at the astrological charts reveals exactly who you should turn to for help and who you should absolutely avoid.
This is so important.
Because the people around you are going to react to this same exact energy in very, very different ways.
This is a crucial survival tactic for the week. The charts highlight 2 specific zodiac signs that will heavily impact your life during this time.
First, let's talk about the lifeline.
It's a good word.
The charts point to Virgo as your absolute best match this week.
Highly recommend hanging out with a Virgo.
On Monday, May 25, the moon is actually traveling through the sign of Virgo. This brings a really strong sense of shared purpose between you and any Virgos in your life.
You are on the same page.
But more importantly, during that awful heavy transit on Thursday, a Virgo is going to show their love through practical help and acts of service. They fit your goals perfectly.
Let's look at why Virgo works so well with Capricorn, especially under stress.
Why are they such a good team?
Virgo is a fellow Earth sign. They understand the material world. They understand that things break, bills need to be paid, and work just needs to be done.
They don't complain about reality.
Right. And on top of that, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which makes them highly analytical problem solvers. When a Capricorn is stressed out by a broken reality, they do not want a hug.
They really don't.
No, they want a plan.
So, back to the flooded floor example.
Okay, the washing machine.
A Virgo partner or friend walks in. They see the water. They see you stressing about the money. They do not gasp or make a massive dramatic scene.
No drama.
They quietly get down on the wet floor, find the serial number on the back of the machine, look up the part on their phone, and order it right there. Then they grab a mop and start cleaning.
That is exactly how an Earth sign says, I love you. They share the burden of the physical world.
But on the total opposite side of the spectrum, the charts warn that Libra is your worst match this week.
Yeah, stay away from Libra right now.
They're going to hit a wall with you. And the reason why is written right in the astro data.
It is so clear in the charts.
Venus is Libra's ruling planet. And as we just discussed, Venus is getting completely crushed by Saturn on Thursday.
This creates a really fascinating dynamic. Libra is an air sign, and their whole goal in life is to find harmony, beauty, and balance.
They want things to be pretty.
Exactly. Because their ruling planet is under attack, Libras are going to feel incredibly stressed and uncomfortable this week. But they cope with stress in the exact opposite way that you do.
How so? What does a Libra do when they are stressed?
When a Libra is stressed by ugly reality, their instinct is to escape it. They want to gloss over the details, totally avoid conflict, and find something pretty to look at. They will try to socialize their way out of a bad mood.
So let's look at the flooded floor with the Libra friend.
Oh, this is going to be bad.
The Libra walks in, sees the water, and feels the heavy stress. But instead of grabbing a mop, the Libra says, oh, this is too depressing. Let's just leave the mess, go out to a nice restaurant, have some drinks, and forget about it for tonight.
Which, to a Capricorn, is the most infuriating response possible.
Because to you, the problem still exists. The floor is still wet.
Exactly. You are ruled by Saturn. Saturn demands that the work is completely finished before the reward is given. Pretending the problem is not there feels like a literal lie to a Capricorn.
It feels fake.
It feels so fake. So you are going to look at the Libra and think they're completely flaky, irresponsible, and useless.
And how is the Libra going to see you?
The Libra is going to see you standing in a puddle with a wrench, stubbornly refusing to go to dinner, and they will think you are harsh, stubborn, and just addicted to misery.
Wow.
You are speaking two completely different languages.
I have to ask, though, wouldn't it actually be good for the Capricorn to act a little bit like the Libra sometimes?
What do you mean?
Why is it so hard for you to just drop the wrench, let go of the control, and go have a drink? Maybe ignoring it for one night is actually good for your mental health.
Well, it sounds good in theory, but you have to remember the physical toll we talked about earlier. Saturn is sitting heavily on the Capricorn's chest.
Right, the physical anxiety.
For an Earth sign, leaving a physical mess unresolved creates extreme physical anxiety. If you go to the restaurant, you will not enjoy the drink at all.
You will just obsess over it.
You will sit there thinking about the water warping the wood under the machine. You will calculate the cost of the floor damage while you look at the menu. You cannot relax until the structure is secure.
So trying to be superficial and fun actually causes more pain.
Yes, much more pain. So the strategy is simple. When the heavy days hit, call your Virgo friends, accept their practical help.
And for the Libras,
If you have Libra colleagues or family members, just give them some space, keep a polite distance, do not ask them to help you fix the machine, and definitely do not let them drag you to a party you do not want to attend.
setting those boundaries is going to save you a massive headache.
It really will.
And once you accept that practical help from Virgo and keep the chaotic energy away, you create a quiet space.
A very necessary quiet space.
And in that quiet space, the real healing of the week can finally begin. Because underneath all the noise of the power struggles and the broken appliances, there is actually some incredibly positive astro data quietly running in the background.
It is vital not to overlook this because this is where the real growth happens for you.
Let's go back to Tuesday, May 26th.
Okay, back to Tuesday.
The same day you have that explosive Mars and Pluto power struggle at work, the Sun forms a trine to Pluto.
A very helpful angle.
The charts indicate this offers an opening for a deep, transformative conversation that can heal a very old wound.
Yes, deep healing.
And then on Thursday, May 28, the moon enters the sign of Scorpio. This helps you connect with your deepest emotional needs.
It bridges the gap.
The charts are basically drawing a giant red circle around your health, telling you that you must get extra sleep, drink plenty of water, and eat nourishing foods.
We need to analyze how these angles work together. A trine is an angle of 120 degrees. It is the most supportive, stable shape in all of astrology.
Like a strong triangle.
Exactly. The planets are holding hands. So, while Mars is aggressively fighting Pluto in the office, the Sun is gently supporting Pluto in your private life.
How does that actually play out?
The Sun brings light. Pluto rules the dark, deep underground where we bury things we do not want to think about.
Like past hurts, resentments, fears.
Right. When the Sun shines a supportive light into Pluto's basement, it means you can finally look at those buried things without being terrified.
So you might spend Tuesday afternoon fighting a power struggle at work, but Tuesday night you might sit down with a loved one and have a profoundly honest conversation.
Yes, and because it is a Capricorn conversation, it is not going to be a loud, dramatic movie scene with screaming and crying.
That's not really their style.
Not at all. It is going to be grounded. It is sitting across the kitchen table, looking at the facts of what happened in the past, acknowledging the hurt without pointing fingers, and agreeing on how to rebuild the trust. It is very practical healing.
And then the Scorpio moon arrives on Thursday to help bridge the gap even further,
Scorpio is a water sign. It is deep, emotional water.
which Capricorn really needs right now.
Exactly. After the physical exhaustion of dealing with Saturn all week, the water sign moon reminds you that you actually have an emotional core that needs care.
Which brings me to the health advice from the charts. Drink water, eat nourishing foods, get extra sleep.
Very important advice.
I have to push back a little here, though. That is just basic human advice.
True.
Why do you need the planets moving through specific angles to tell a Capricorn to drink a glass of water? I mean, everyone needs water.
Well, because of how Capricorns view their own bodies.
How do they view them?
You are the ultimate worker. You tend to view your body merely as a machine, like a vehicle you use to carry your brain to work.
That is so true, just a tool.
Right. You put just enough fuel in it to keep it running, and you sleep just enough so the engine does not stall out. You routinely ignore the maintenance lights on the dashboard if there is a big deadline to meet.
That makes total sense. You prioritize the external work over the internal battery.
But this week, the heavy transit from Saturn is draining the battery way faster than usual. Your joints ache, You are physically exhausted. The machine is blinking red.
You cannot just push through at this time.
You cannot ignore it. So while drinking water sounds basic, for a Capricorn who is obsessed with pushing through the pain, stopping to gently care for your own body without feeling guilty about wasting time is an incredibly difficult challenge.
Getting 8 hours of sleep is not a luxury this week. It is mandatory maintenance. If you try to run the machine on empty, it will literally break.
And you want to be fully charged because the end of the week brings something truly wonderful.
Let's talk about the great exhale.
My favorite part.
Everything you've dealt with, the hidden traps on Monday, the anger on Tuesday, the exhaustion and the broken machines on Thursday, the difficult kitchen table conversations, it all pays off in a massive way on Sunday.
Sunday is the reward for all that discipline.
On Sunday, May 31, we have a full moon in the sign of Sagittarius.
A very bright moon.
And the charts show this happening right in your hidden sector. This moon urges you to take a huge step back, rest, and let go of the subconscious fears you've been carrying all week.
Just drop the baggage.
The data points to a quiet resolution of that terrible, stressful work project. Deep relief arrives regarding a debt or a shared financial burden. Your heart finally feels light enough to trust again.
It is beautiful.
It is the perfect time to sit quietly, meditate, and just release the tension in your muscles.
We have to analyze the specific location of this full moon. It happens in what we call the hidden sector, or the 12th house of the astro charts.
What exactly is the 12th house?
Imagine a house with 12 rooms. The 12th room is the basement closet.
Okay, the dark storage room.
Yes, it is the place where you hide away from the world. It rules the subconscious mind, isolation, endings, and things going on quietly behind the scenes.
And a full moon brings light.
Yes. A full moon illuminates whatever room it is in, so the bright light turns on in the dark closet.
And it's in Sagittarius, right?
Furthermore, it is in the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a fire sign. It represents travel, optimism, wide open spaces, and shooting arrows into the distance.
So you have a bright light turning on in the dark closet of your mind, and a fiery arrow shooting all the old junk right out the window.
That is a brilliant way to visualize it. It clears out the heavy restrictive energy that Saturn dropped on you earlier in the week.
But it's private.
Right. Because it happens in the hidden sector, this is not a public victory. You are not getting a promotion on a stage while people clap for you. It is a quiet, intensely personal sigh of relief.
Let's set the scene for this Sunday morning.
Picture a calm Sunday.
You wake up, the house is completely quiet, the washing machine is finally fixed.
No more water on the floor.
You open your laptop, log into your bank, and you make the final transfer to pay off the last installment of a really heavy loan. You hit submit.
That is the best feeling.
Then you open your email and you hit send on the final version of the stressful project that caused the huge fight back on Tuesday. You close the laptop, you sit back with your coffee, and you literally feel the physical knot in your shoulders melt away.
It is the realization that the storm is finally over. The structure held up.
But there is something interesting about this. A full moon in a hidden subconscious sector sounds so mystical.
It does sound magical.
It sounds like you should be having visions or meditating on a mountain. But the results for a Capricorn are incredibly practical. Paying off a loan, finishing an email.
Yes, very down to earth.
Why does an emotional release for you guys always seem to tie directly back to your bank account or your to-do list?
Because the material world and the emotional world are completely linked for an earth sign. You cannot separate them.
Oh, they're basically the same thing.
Exactly. A Capricorn simply cannot relax their subconscious mind if they are actively worried about paying the rent. You cannot sit down to meditate and find inner peace if you have a massive work deadline hanging right over your head.
The physical insecurity creates constant mental static.
Absolutely. So financial safety is emotional safety for them.
That makes total sense.
Once the practical world is settled and the boundaries are secure, then the hidden fears can evaporate. Once the bank account is safe, then your heart feels safe enough to open up and trust your partner again after a rocky week.
You need the physical safety net before you can let go emotionally.
Yes, and Sunday provides that net.
That brings everything full circle. You do the hard work so you can afford the peace of mind. Now, before we wrap up our time together, we need to make sure you have the tools to navigate this whole week.
Let's review the toolkit.
Let's look at your Capricorn toolkit for the week, which we pulled straight from the astro charts.
These are the practical elements you can use to stay grounded.
First, your lucky color of the week is brown. Your best dates are May 25 and May 29. Your lucky numbers are 4, 8, 17, 22, 26, and 31.
Read those down.
And the charts also highlight a protective energy called a benefic enclosure occurring on May 29 that will act as a shield against negative office politics.
Let's analyze these dates, because there is an obvious contradiction here that we really need to explain. May 29 is listed as one of your best dates.
Right. May 29 is Thursday. The day we just said has the terrible, heavy Saturn energy, the broken machines, the lonely feelings, and the aching joints.
Yep, that is the day.
How can the absolute hardest day of the week be a best date? That feels like a typo in the charts.
It is not a typo, but it requires a real shift in how you define the word best.
Okay, how do we define it?
In astrology, best does not always mean easiest. You are not looking for a vacation day here. For a Capricorn, a best date is the day you prove your strength.
Oh, it is a challenge.
It is the day you take a broken situation and fix it. Thursday is a masterclass in building boundaries and proving your resilience. You come out of Thursday so much stronger than you went in. That is what makes it a successful best day.
And the charts mention a benefic enclosure on that same day. What is that mechanically?
Benefic means good or helpful. An enclosure basically means being fenced in.
Okay, tracked by good things.
Sort of. In the charts, it means a specific planet is sandwiched between two very positive planets, like Venus and Jupiter. Think of it like walking through a very dangerous, bad neighborhood, but you have a massive, friendly bodyguard walking on your left and another huge bodyguard walking on your right.
So the bad neighborhood is still there. The stress of the office politics is still happening all around you.
Yes.
But the bodyguards prevent it from actually touching you.
Exactly. The gossip and the power struggles might swirl around the office all day on Thursday, but if you stay focused on your work, that protective enclosure ensures your reputation stays completely safe.
You use it as a mental shield.
Yes. You tell yourself, I am protected from this nonsense, and you just keep building your foundation.
I love the idea of an invisible shield. And tying back to the foundation, it makes perfect sense that your color of the week is brown.
It is the perfect color for this.
It is not a flashy color at all. It is not neon or gold or silver. It is the color of the soil. It is the color of dirt, of thick tree bark, of the deep earth.
It is the ultimate grounded color. It represents total stability.
So on Thursday, when you feel the huge weight of Saturn pushing down on you, actively use the color.
Yes, physically wear it.
Put on a brown sweater, wear brown shoes, or even just keep a small brown stone on your desk. Use it as a visual reminder that you are deeply rooted to the ground and simply cannot be blown over by the chaos.
It is a great anchor.
And if you're picking dates for future plans or maybe buying a lottery ticket with whatever cash is left over after you fix the washing machine.
If there is any left.
Right. Lean into those numbers: 4, 8, 17, 22, 26, and 31.
Having these tools just gives you something physical to hold on to when the astro weather gets wild.
Capricorn, we have charted out a massive path for you today. You are walking into a week that is going to push your limits, test your patience, and ultimately reward your incredible discipline.
It is a big one.
But before we leave you to face it, I want you to think about one final idea. You are famously brilliant at handling limited resources.
Nobody does it better.
You know exactly how to budget every single penny in your bank account, and you know how to schedule every single minute of your workday so nothing is wasted. You protect your money and your time so fiercely.
Shared it with their lives.
But after feeling the deep physical exhaustion that this week brings, what incredible things could you achieve if you started treating your own physical energy, your need for sleep, water, and rest, as your most valuable, untouchable resource?
That is a powerful question.
What if you protected your rest the exact same way you protect your savings account? Thank you so much for listening to this episode on Horoscope TV. We are so incredibly grateful you chose to spend your time with us today, exploring what the charts have in store for you.
It was wonderful looking through the astro data with you. Please remember to hit that subscribe button so you can get notified the very moment the next episode is available. Take care of your foundation, protect your energy, and we will see you next time.